sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one.
Everybody make a joyful noise. Everybody make a joyful noise. You know how to make a joyful noise. Clap your hands and lift your voice. Everybody make a joyful noise. Everybody lift your voice in song. Everybody lift your voice in song. Come on, lift your voice in song. You can do it, sing along. Everybody lift your voice in song. Everybody clap on 2 and 4. Everybody clap on 2 and 4. Come on, clap on 2 and 4. Make it louder, give it more. Everybody clap on 2 and 4. Living big for God's the way to go. Living big for God's the way to go. Living big's the way to go. Give it up just to let it flow. Living big for God is the way to go. We intend to make a joyful noise. We intend to make a joyful noise. We intend to make a joyful noise. Clap your hands and lift your voice. We intend to make a joyful noise. Oh, we intend to make a joyful noise. We intend to make a joyful noise.
Good morning, Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. Let's give some love to this band, yeah? Woo! Waking us up on this beautiful Sunday, making us feel good down to our bones. We got Mr. Joe Cinquina as our music director and on bass. Give him some love. Lauren Dechtenberg on keys, vocals, and reading. John Dittert on percussion. Our featured vocalist today is Justin Norris. Yes. And, of course, Mr. Jeff Watts making us all sound good. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love, and we gather together every Sunday knowing that love is always the answer. You got it. We are a conscious community committed to curiosity, so we may provide a loving space to be reminded of the truth of who we are. And in case you forgot, I wore it on my t-shirt today, y'all. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual path, know that you are absolutely welcome, honored, and celebrated here. Yes? Because you are worthy and you belong. If you are joining us online, thank you for being a part of our virtual community. Say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from today. And make sure to hit that like, share, subscribe button, all the things. Even if you're in the room, we invite you to take out your phones. Yes, it is okay to take your phones out on Sunday mornings these days, y'all, as long as you are taking clips and posting things about where you are, right? So share with your friends where the love is today, where you are, and where they can come and get their love as well. Also, we want to give a special welcome to anyone who may be here for the first time, and knowing that your presence here makes a difference. Your energy adds to this collective soup that we are all swimming in, and we honor and celebrate you as well. So, do we have anyone here for the first time? Oh, yes, I have some family here. Welcome. Our core council member will be giving you a little card there, and then you can take that to the bookstore to get a free gift. So thank you for being here. And we invite everyone to join us after service in the community room for some coffee, tea, and we'd love to get to know you more. If you're joining us online for the first time, please let us know that as well, and we can give you some virtual flowers and some hearts and loves and all of that. So we are so grateful for all of the hearts and hands that come together to create this beloved community. We would not be here without each and every one of you, those of you especially who serve and volunteer and give of your time, your talent, and your treasure. So if you are one of our volunteers, please just give yourself a little pat on the back, and everyone else, let's give them a round of applause. Yes. And if you're looking for a way to get more involved, there are always opportunities to serve this community. Even beyond Sunday morning and Sunday morning teams, we have special projects. We have things during the week that you can come in and have some one-on-one time with me as we organize and work on different projects and celebrate some new ideas that are coming to birth. So please reach out and see how you can be involved in serving this community. Now is the time we get to acknowledge and recognize that we are one and that we are all a reflection of one another. So I invite you just to take a moment, maybe placing your hands over your heart, turn to someone and say, thank you for being a reflection of me. Yes. And we have an amazing vision and purpose here at Ahava. So I invite you to repeat after me. We are an inclusive community.
We are an inclusive community.
Committed to global transformation.
Committed to global transformation.
Through personal evolution.
Through personal evolution.
And then our purpose, let's do that one together. Ready? Wake up, step up, and make a difference. That's right. And today's affirmation, I will say, and then invite you to affirm with me. I embrace radical self-tenderness. I embrace radical self-tenderness. Yes. So I invite you now just to take that deep breath. As we move into our centering and our opening prayer this morning, which will be led by our practitioner, Louise Talon.
In this place, my soul is free from the light within my sea. All the joy, all the peace, carry me, carry me, carry
carry me. In this place, love abides. Holy light, surrender me. All the joy, all the peace, carry me. Carry me, carry me, oh, carry me.
Just take a moment this morning to anchor in, to settle into oneness, knowing that that is all there is. To settle into that place where I know, recognize, and claim that there is only one life, one power, one isness that courses in, through, and as all. Changeless yet ever-changing, and in this moment I know it as peace, as love, as order, as creativity, as vitality, knowing that whatever is the truth of it is the truth of me, is the truth of each beloved hearing the sound of my voice. Knowing that, I claim that this moment, this day, this service is blessed. It is blessed by the hands and hearts who have come together to unleash the sparks of holiness in this place. It is blessed by the words of our beloved minister, Reverend Rainbow. It is blessed by the hands and voices of our beloved musicians. I declare this day good and very good. I declare this moment amazing. And I allow it to be by saying, and so it is.
All the joy, all the peace, carry me, carry me, carry me, oh, carry me. Today's reading is by Tricia Hersey from the book Rest is Resistance. All of culture is in collaboration for us not to rest. There is no system in our culture that supports and makes space for us to rest. This culture does not want you rested unless it is attached to your increased labor and productivity. The truth that we may be afraid or unsure of how and when we will rest is valid. We can move through our guilt, shame, and fear that will emerge from reclaiming our bodies and time as our own. This is a vulnerable truth that we should not run from or hide. It can be overwhelming to go against the dominant culture's desires and plans. We have been taught to hustle, fake it till we make it, ignore our body's cues for rest, all because our systems have been created to ignore and push the laborers and the workers as hard as possible to increase profit. Grind culture thrives on us remaining in our heads, unable to allow the technology of our divine bodies to soar and develop. There is massive knowledge and wisdom lying dormant in our exhausted and weary bodies and hearts. I believe the dreaming part of our unraveling will be the most challenging because it goes against all we have been socialized to believe. Can you remember a moment in your life when you have been told that the machine pace of your days is not normal? Sit with this for a moment. Breathe this in for a moment now. There has been no space for any of us to dream of anything outside of what we have been born into, to hear the simple and bold proclamation, "You are doing too much. You can rest. You can just be. You can be revolutionary. To believe it and continue to dream up ways to feel and find rest, care, and healing is liberation.
Time has unfolded me, it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. With every thought I make, every last breath I take, may I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me, make me a symphony. Play every role you can find. Make me reverberate, gently deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance and let my anthem be. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right any wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. 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 I will not be shaken. I will not be moved. May my heart awaken, tenderness be proved. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me and right any wrong. Help me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong.
Woo, woo. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's give some more love to Justin and the band. Opening our hearts in this moment. So happy June. Months just keep on flying. Happy June. Happy Pride Month, everyone. Yesterday, I got the opportunity to stop by Richmond Pride, and I'm just proud that I didn't walk away with a massive sunburn. So there's that. Yes, and I want to say, speaking of love for our band, that our Ahava band has been asked to perform at Lexington Pride. So we are super proud of them. Yeah, it is a very, very, very cool opportunity for us to get to shine our light with the thousands upon thousands of folks that will be at Pride, and that is Saturday, June 24th. And make sure you come out and support our band and all the love that is Lexington Pride. So this month, we are kicking off a new theme, and that is embracing self-care. Now, I want you just to take a moment, just when I say the word self-care, and notice, do you have any sort of reaction? Is there any kind of body sensation or thoughts or opinions that immediately come to mind when I say that term? And just notice, that's all. So self-care is this concept, this term that fairly recently has become more and more common in our vernacular, yes? It's kind of tossed around very casually these days, and often as an invitation, as a solution for all the madness going on in the world is, we just need more self-care. So I wanted to look a little deeper about this concept, and what we discovered is that it was actually first started in the 1950s as a medical term. So this concept of self-care was something that doctors would actually prescribe to patients, these certain activities to do to remind their patients and encourage them to know their own inherent self-worth. And by then knowing their self-worth, their patients it would be easier to cultivate these healthy habits for our physical body, such as eating right and exercising, sleeping well, all of these things that we now know are the building blocks to a healthy body. And as time went on, the term began to then move into more of the civil rights movement in order to encourage people to practice self-care, to have the energy and the fortitude to continue to pursue acts of justice and equality. And today, I would say that is even more important, right? How do we find that sense of care and balance to fuel us to do the good works in the world that need to be done without completely exhausting ourselves or getting burnt out? But like most things in our consumerist culture, self-care has now been another term that has been twisted into a commodity, right? Something else to buy or consume in order to then show ourselves that we love ourselves, right? Something that we have to do or get outside of ourselves is what some companies and marketing would tell us that we need, something out there to have an experience of self-care. And so I just bring this up because we have to be mindful of what these words mean in order to really hold the true intention of the word and what it means for ourselves. So many brands then have jumped on this bandwagon and say things like, you deserve it, right? Or you deserve a break today. We've been hearing that one. You deserve to take this trip and fly to this beautiful beach for all that you have done. Yes, for thousands of dollars that you have after working hard than a break, right? Like there's so many complex levels to this idea of you deserve it. And the truth is, we are inherently worthy, and of course, we deserve all that we desire. But we don't have to get to a point where we feel exhausted and then depleted and think, oh, I deserve something. I need this to make me feel better. We had the opportunity last weekend, my family, to go down to visit my family, my extended family in Atlanta, Georgia, and had a bit of a family reunion on Memorial Day weekend with my mom and her cousins and that side of the family. And we decided to take our daughter Cadence and another little cousin down to downtown and explore some things in the city. So when I was in high school in Atlanta is when we got to host the Olympics. So it was a very special time in my life and lots of great memories. So we took them down to Centennial Olympic Park and showed them around all of that. And then also decided to go to the World of Coke, the Coca-Cola Museum, because many of you know the Coca-Cola company was founded right there in Atlanta. So we go and, first of all, you pay, not a minimal admission charge to go in. And one of the first things they have you do is sit you down in this big theater, this big screen, and they play this 10-minute movie / commercial of happy moments. And, every joyous moment from, birth to graduation to skydiving and all these heightened emotions, right? And they're just playing on your emotions and then superimposing the brand Coke all throughout it. So as I'm like, breathe. And then I stand up and I start telling Cadence kind of in a loud voice. So Cadence, that is a type of marketing called emotional manipulation. And they get you to feel something and then they put a product in front of you. So then you associate that good feeling with that product. And then when you see it, you think, I want to feel happy, I'm going to buy a Coke. So I was like, I just want you to be aware and think critically and not just get caught up in what we see all around us, right? And Heather's kind of like, here we go, Rainbow. And I'm thinking, and then something else happened in the next thing, and I said something a little loud, and then I was like, oh goodness, am I going to get us kicked out of the World of Coke because of my opinions here? So I just decided, let it go. I was very tempted to walk out the door and go to the museum literally on the same courtyard next door, which is the Human Rights and Justice Museum. I will go there next time, but I made a commitment to spend some fun family time, and I then just kind of surrendered to the experience and went and, filled up on my cups of the free soda from all around the world, and all was well. But there was something else to that, too. It was super crowded because it was a holiday weekend, right? And again, just from this point of noticing and observing, always being the observer in our own lives, but also just how human culture and how people are. So we know that, right, scarcity drives us in some way. So the fact that there are these limited amount of soda stations, although it's free, it's like an all-you-can-drink Coke buffet, and so many people, people just get, and the adults that are running over and pushing aside our little ones when we're trying to have an educational experience, talking about the different countries where the sodas are. No one was having it. They just wanted to get in and get their sugar drink and sugar boost. That's another talk. I apologize. I just had to get that out of my system. The point is, all of these messages from the world and from these major brands that can often co-opt so much our time and attention through their marketing, they really miss the mark on true self-care. And it perpetuates this grind culture of work hard to play hard. work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. And there's no in between. So what if instead we were to live a balanced life in which downtime and rest and self-care was just an integral part of the natural flow of our day? And these messages further miss the mark when they tell you that there's something outside of ourselves that we must get in order to feel whole, right? Because what we know is that we are already whole. We are perfect beings living in an imperfect society, filled with expectations, the society with expectations well beyond what any human can actually achieve without eventually breaking down or getting so sick and tired of the way things are that we become literally too sick and tired to actually even enjoy life anymore. And what I know is that if we stop and consciously think about it, none of us would actually choose that for ourselves. You know, we don't desire for ourselves, our friends, our families to work so hard for something that someday may come when I may then have enough time or money to rest, instead of just being so worn out that we don't even have the energy to do what we desire and want in order to experience the joy of life. So it's easy to get swept up in the energy and the culture all around us if we are not being mindful and noticing at every point what those messages are telling us. And just notice it, name it, and then choose whether or not to buy into it. So our theme for this whole year is living out loud. And this means this idea of getting to live life to the fullest, to experience deep fulfillment in all areas of our lives. So self-care is an integral part of this, something to be embraced, not just as a once-a-year vacation, but as this integrated daily practice. And this is something that I think is particularly unique to our Western culture, and particularly here in the United States, of work, 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 and then maybe a little vacation to get enough rest to then fuel yourself to go back to work, or whatever it be, work, volunteer. I mean, there's always something, even if you were retired from work, the yard, the house, the next, the this, the that, right? Volunteer opportunities, so much that we desire to do. So how do we find balance? And that's what I noticed last summer when I had the opportunity to go to Ecuador for 3 weeks. That felt so luxurious to me. Never in my life had I had a 3-week vacation. So we go and we're traveling and we're meeting people from all over the world, and how long are you going to be here? And so proud to say 3 weeks. And they're like, oh, that's all? Oh, you know, most people were there for at least 3 months, you know, from other cultures. That's the culture in most other countries, to really experience the joy of life. And so that really was a shock to me when I would be like, I get 3 weeks off. Oh, I was like, that was not the reaction I expected. And to find out people are there for months on end. So then I got to set a new, what we call here, mental equivalent, right? A new concept of what is possible, a new goal for myself to be like, oh, there are people in the world that get to travel on vacation for 3 months out of the year. And not when they're retired, or not when they're in their 20s, but when they're in their 40s like me, with their families, in the middle, in the height of their career. That's a new concept. Okay, something to consider, right? So self-care starts with being able to know that we deserve it. It starts with a conscious intention. It starts with a belief that we are worthy, and it starts with the willingness to make it a priority. And it doesn't, like I say, have to look like the commercials tell us it looks like. Long, luxurious bubble baths with just the right essential oil and all the candles and the perfect crystals laid out with the perfect music, which I love, it's true. But there are other ways to experience self-care that don't either have to take as much time or as many things if we embrace it as a mindset or a lifestyle. It's like a shift in our mind to open up to this idea of self-care, like our daily habits, our daily rituals, right? We have been trained since we were little to brush our teeth every day. And we do it, I hope, for the most part. But how many of us were told the importance of caring for our minds and our hearts in this way, for our little spirit? That was something that definitely my parents were on the cutting edge of when I was young. They would let me, if need be, take a day off of school for what we just called, a mental health day or a self-care day. I didn't have to get to the point where I was physically sick so then I could get a doctor's note so I have an excuse not to go to school. If I have some kind of emotion going on that they recognize, taking a day to talk, to process, to meditate, to sleep, to go for a walk is what my soul called for, and I didn't have to get sick to then prove to the world that I deserved a break, right? And that really stuck with me. And I'm not saying I always listen to my body when it starts to bring up those feels of you need a break. I do often push myself to the limits, but I am interested. I am invested in always noticing and coming back to the possibility of what I truly desire by changing my mind and making a new behavior change or a new habit or a new action, to come back to rest, to come back to an integrated, balanced life of caring and honoring and loving myself. Making the commitment to self-care is a deep practice of self-love. So knowing that we are whole, perfect, and worthy just as we are, that there's nothing that we need to do to prove that, is the kind of base belief that must be instilled through reminding ourselves over and over and over that we are worthy. And once that belief system is what we are building our life from, it is much easier to then make choices and to create behavior patterns and habits that then are based on self-love and based on our worthiness, that we get to choose what we do with our time, with our life. We get to choose to honor, to care for ourselves, to take these micro moments of tenderness, to recenter, to bring us back to that place of calm and stillness. And it is literally a micro moment. One breath can completely shift our experience. Instead of running on autopilot, on reaction, notice the swirling energy in our body, having the awareness to breathe, to slow it down, to return to calm, and then decide. And to remember we are always at choice. So the first step, and I feel like I say this all the time, and I'm going to keep saying it to myself as well, is self-awareness. We have to be aware of what's going on around us and in our body to even notice when we are out of sync or out of flow or living in a way that isn't our truest desire. So I want you to take a moment now and just kind of enter into a little self-reflection. We're going to look at and explore what is our current relationship with self-care. So if you were to rate your relationship to self-care now, again, you don't have to share this with anyone, you're just in your own mind, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being, I am rocking this thing called self-care, and 1 being, what? Where are you? Just check in, just in general with self-care. And now, if you were to ask your body, if your body had a voice to speak, where would it say you are on the scale of self-care, 1 to 10? What about your mind, your mental health and clarity? Where would your mind say you are? And what about your heart, your spirit, your soul, the true essence? That pulse that is beating, bringing the very life energy to you, through you. What would your heart say? So we start with awareness, not from a place of shame or judgment. That's where we often go to, right? And not even from a place of, okay, so what do I do about it? That is me, right? I know, what's the solution? Great. Let's not dwell on it. What are we going to do about it? Slow down, Rainbow, I have to tell myself. Breathe and just notice. Because if you sit with it a moment longer, if you sit in the noticing a moment longer before trying to jump to some solution, there may be an even deeper level. There may be something even more under the surface of that which we think we need to change or fix or control in the effects of our lives that is the root cause of what is actually seeking attention in our lives. Dropping in to the wisdom of our body and to the wisdom of our heart. Learning to listen to the cues of our body. Yet when we are taught from some external forces that our body is something to be used or mistreated or something to stretch beyond capacity, there can be a cost. Because then we can think of it as another tool in our society as opposed to an integrated part of who we are. So always listening to the body. To stretch to the point that it's not painful, but it also doesn't feel good. There's something right there. That's the moment to stretch to. Not to the breaking point, but also not to the comfort point. Stretch to the stretching point. And every day we stretch to the stretching point just like a ballerina learning to do the splits. They go a little farther and a little farther. So is true in all areas of our life as we continue to stretch into our own understanding of who we are, as we stretch into that infinite potential that lives within us, that is seeking to be expressed through us as us. But we must listen to our body, to what is that point to stretch, and then when to hold and breathe, and then when to relax, and then when to stretch, breathe, and relax. Going further and further, but not to the breaking point. Self-awareness. There is so much to know, so much wisdom in our body, so much wisdom in our heart. pulling us towards things through our emotions? What do we feel for? What pulls on our heartstrings? And in our minds, we know and we speak so much in this philosophy of the science of mind about the power of our minds. And self-care cannot exist separate from our minds, because it takes us noticing our thoughts and turning our thoughts to those of possibility and truth to then motivate our actions to do such things as self-care. But if we're constantly in our minds self-deprecating and demeaning ourselves, I'm not good enough, who do I think I am? That's great for them, but it just doesn't work for me. Whatever those thoughts are, those beliefs that at some point we have come to believe are true, we must wake up, pay attention, and notice so that they are not running the story of our lives unconsciously. To wake up and choose thoughts of self-love and appreciation, of acknowledgement, to choose thoughts and behaviors of self-care that honor the beautiful beings that we are. And, for many folks, that these can be kind of like a default setting, which may require a little extra mindfulness and awareness to begin to question those thoughts. And then, from awareness, is that true? We notice the thought, but really, is that true? Is that something I would say to my most beloved? Would I look into the eyes of my precious cat, dog, baby, child, niece, nephew, whatever it may be, and say, you are not worthy. Who do you think you are? You are not good enough. No, we've moved beyond that. Generations ago, perhaps they did that because that was the understanding. We got to toughen you up in order to survive this tough world. We are in a new culture. We have evolved as a consciousness to where we understand now that we do not talk to people or treat people that way. And the next evolution of consciousness is to stop doing that to ourselves, right? We've learned enough not to accept that kind of behavior as a parent or a teacher or anyone who works with our children. But do we still do it to ourselves? That is the next evolution that we are being called forth from, from this old way. So if we can get beyond all the noise of the brands that are wanting to sell us something to prove our worth, if we can get beyond that noise and reclaim the true meaning, the true power of self-care and self-love, then we take our power back. We have agency to choose and to create the world that works for everyone. We in this room have a commitment to creating a world that works for everyone, for everybody. But not everyone does. And often those that have a counter narrative to that have a loud voice, have the resources to perpetuate a different message in a very loud way throughout the human consciousness. But what I know is that love is always the answer. Love will prevail. And we are the ones that are called to know this truth, to start within ourselves, to love and care for ourselves so much so that we can take back our agency and we can take the steps to create a world that works for everyone. To pause and to breathe in a time of upset or conflict, taking that micro moment to return to center, and then consciously choose the next step. Instead of reacting and getting caught up in the cycle of attack, offend, we can choose love. Noticing our thoughts, reminding ourselves that we are love, and asking, what would love do now? And perhaps in this moment, love would say, go lay down and take a nap. Perhaps in this moment, love would say, go for a walk, get a massage, call a friend, ask for a hug. We are always at choice, so we get to take back the narrative of what self-care means. And this month, we're going to go deeper and deeper into self-love, self-care. But this week, I just went off script, so let's see. What did I want to tell y'all? This week, I wanted to invite you to simply notice. Notice how you talk to yourself. And as you begin to notice, if there are some thoughts that are perhaps a little bit more self-demeaning or negative than you desire, just notice and breathe and gently and lovingly invite yourself to shift. Taking a breath, perhaps going for that walk, stretching, moving, shaking the body, whatever you need to do in that micro moment to shift the energy. Put on your favorite song, dance, and then talk yourself up just like you would a beloved child in your life, reminding yourself of who you are with that tender love that you give to your beloved. Knowing that you are worthy and you deserve it. More than just chocolate and bubble baths. Be your own source of love and tenderness. And as Audre Lorde said, self-care is not self-indulgent, it is self-preservation. So don't let anyone else tell you wrong. It's not wrong to take time off, to take a nap in the middle of the day. I love naps, especially Sunday afternoons. I am napping. So we do this work for ourselves, but on behalf of the collective, because we are a microcosm of the one life that is whole, perfect, and complete. And let's remember that for ourselves and each other. Yes? We're going to do it? All right. Let's take it into prayer. So let's start with breath. And another deep breath. And yet again, the deepest breath you've had all day. Letting go, letting go. Dropping our awareness down into the center of our being. That place in space in which knows no bounds. The center of our being that is pure divine love. Knowing and recognizing love, peace, joy, as this one energy, as this one life force that is expressing in, as, and through all of us. Knowing and recognizing this energy as pure joy, as peace, as beauty, as creativity. Knowing that love is who I am. Love is the very essence and nature and truth of each and every one of us. So we come together remembering to pay attention, to notice, to seek out where love is seeking to be known. Where is love seeking to be known more fully in our lives? Where perhaps have we fallen asleep? Where have we become the cogs of a machine that someone else is driving? And through this awareness, we can return back to the true nature of who we are. Infinite potential, living in a world of infinite possibility. A divine point in which all of life and all of spirit is experiencing itself through us. Knowing that God's spirit life gets to know itself more fully through us as we claim our power, as we take back our agency and choose to live this life to the fullest, directed by love, guided by peace and joy. Just taking a moment to allow any messages or patterns or behaviors or old ways of being that no longer serve this highest good of who we are and who we are becoming, to fall back to the nothingness from which they came. We choose in this moment to drop it like it's hot and say yes to the love and truth and peace and joy and possibility of life and who we are. Embracing self-care, self-tenderness, and self-love. Radically embracing self-love, for love is who we are. And it is time to let that be known and seen throughout this world. So I say yes right here, right now. Yes to life. Yes to what life and love would have me do right now in this beloved body temple, with this unique heart that is mine, with this unique mind that is mine, to say, to do, to speak, to share, to create with this world from a place of wholeness and worthiness, knowing that there's nothing that can stand in the way of the pure power of the universe. The same power that created the cosmos is creating right here, right now, through each of us. We get to choose the life that we live. So we know that love is the foundation. Love is who we are. And it is with great, great gratitude for the fulfillment of this word that I release it into the action of the law that always says yes, 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 my beloved. It says yes. It is reflecting back to us exactly what we say and put into it, and it simply says yes. So I choose today to say love is who I am. I choose to say today to say peace is who I am, joy is who I am. Yes, thank you, life. Thank you, God. Yes, says the universe back. It is so. And we say, and so it is.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. Open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. there is only love.
So I invite you now to take a moment to turn to someone and to say, I love myself. And take a breath if you need to. Yes. You know, it's like, how much are we taught to just look at others and appreciate and give and see their love and their beauty? But what if we were to stand in front of another and claim our own beauty and wholeness? That's a paradigm shift right there. And to not judge another person for standing in their wholeness in front of them, thinking, well, who do they think they are? Well, who do they think they are? They're a reflection of me. And if they can stand there and say they love themselves, wow, now I have the opportunity to stand and say I love myself. They give us permission. We are always reflecting to one another as this whole that we are. Okay, sorry, talk is over. We're going to now move into our time of conscious giving. This is where we get to support this beloved community for all that we get to do and be and create in this community and beyond online. So we're going to pass a basket in the room, and there's also ways you can give online. You can simply text the word give to 859-209-6996. And I invite you now to repeat after me. Divine love as me.
Divine love as me.
Blesses and multiplies all that I have.
Blesses and multiplies all that I have.
All that I give.
All that I give.
And all that I receive.
And all that I receive.
I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava.
I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava.
Knowing it returns to me.
Knowing it returns to me.
Multiplied abundantly.
Multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
So it is. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Love gives me everything I need. Love gives me everything I need.
Yes. Okay, so y'all, something else just coming to me. And I was sitting here thinking, you know, some of y'all watching or listening may be thinking, you know, that may be easy for her to say, right? Because you can look at certain aspects of my life that you see and think, well, yeah, she has this and that and the other together. She was raised in this teaching and whatnot. And so it's easy for her to love herself and to speak of these things. And what I thought of in this moment is we all have stuff going on, right? So there's been some things going on in my life too, but I am so grateful that I have this opportunity to stand before you all and to speak this truth. I do this job, this work, this ministry, not because I have it all together, but because I need the accountability every week to be in a place where I can authentically speak this message to you all, which means I have to do this work for myself every week. It just kind of hit in a moment I can't quite explain, but I guess one thing I want to say is I am so grateful for this community and for what I get to do, for the opportunity. And I also want to say, let's all remember that everyone has something going on, right? And so as we can be tender with ourselves, we can be tender with each other, and to remember that love is what it is. And not to take ourselves out of the game because we think, well, that's easy for them because. let's drop those stories and let's just be real and just know we're showing up as love for ourselves and each other. So I just had to say that. All right, we have some things going on. Yes, that was the bonus track. I don't know. All right, so registration is still open for the class tomorrow night. Meditation is more than you think. It's going to be online only, so wherever you are in the world, all you have to do is hop online with Zoom. I'm also making it more flexible. Those of you who requested that, I'm going to be recording some different guided meditations that you can listen to on your own throughout the week. And then when we come together live, that will also be recorded if you need to watch it later. Although if you can be there live, you would get more from the interactive experience of it. But we're going to come together and we're going to practice a variety of meditation techniques and then cultivate a practice that works for us individually. Meditation is more than you think. It's not just sitting and breathing, because it's very hard for me to be still, y'all. That's not my form of meditation. So if you're like me, come to this class and find a practice that works for you. You'll also have the experience of getting to facilitate some meditation, as we are looking for more opportunities for people in our community to facilitate meditation here at Ahava. Also, note that our Wednesday night online meditation is on hiatus for the summer, so don't log in for that. You'll be a little lonely, but if you do, still take the time to meditate yourself. And this last Sunday of the month, Louise Talon and I are going to be doing a workshop called Commit to Self-Love. So if this is, sparking something for you, show up to that workshop. We're going to be going through, it's very interactive, and creating a plan for self-care based on self-love. What else we got going on? We have Southland Festivals coming up next Saturday. Stop by our booth. We have the booth covered, but if you're there, spontaneously come by and say hello to Ahava. And soon we're going to be reaching out to have opportunities to serve at our booth at Pride as well. We are, as you see the little flyers on the seat there, making some upgrades to our space. So that tells you more about that. Opportunities to either donate your time, your creativity, or your treasure towards that project. And save the date. July is right around the corner. I know, these months just keep on ticking. So we're going to have some fun together July 1st with a game night, and July 8th, we are having a community-wide yard sale. So start thinking of things you want to donate. If you're like me, I have a pile already going in my garage or wherever you have, and you'll be hearing more about that. So the idea is that we're all going to fill the yard with our things to clear energetic and physical stuff that we no longer need, and know that all of Lexington is going to show up and say, yes, I've been looking for that. I want to give you $20. And then that money is going to help fuel our ministry as well. So community yard sale, you'll be hearing more about that. But without further ado, let us give it back to the band. Woo!
If you disrespect anybody that you run into, how in the world do you think anybody's supposed to respect you? If you don't give a heck about the man with the Bible in his hand, well, just get out the way and let the gentleman do his thing. See, you're the kind of gentleman that wants everything your way. Yeah. Take the sheet off your face, boy. It's a brand new day. Respect yourself, yeah. Respect yourself. Ain't nobody
Respect yourself.
Ain't nobody
gonna give a good cahoot. Na 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 na.
Hey, yeah. Oh yeah. If you're walking around thinking that backwards like you did when you first came in. Yeah, keep talking about the president, won't stop air pollution. Put your hand on your mouth when you cough, and that'll stop the pollution. Yeah. Oh, you cuss around women and you don't even know their names. Yeah. Then you're dumb enough to think that'll make you a big old man. Yeah. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, ain't nobody gonna give a good cahoot. Na 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 na. Hey, respect yourself. Oh, respect yourself. Gotta respect yourself. Respect yourself. Don't neglect yourself. Oh, respect yourself. We love you. You're a shining star. Wonderful. Just the way you are. We celebrate your sacred days. We love you just the way you are.
The way you are. We love you just the way you are.
So, quickly, I mean, I'm sure you noticed some of you were given a little sun catcher, we called them. Those are for you to hang up in the window. Hold on, Remy, you'll get your turn. They'll be, so you can see it and, no, thank you. We'll turn it off. So, anyway, hang it up. See the love shine through. Remember that to love yourself. Remy, what's our
Yes.
affirmation? I'm going to hold it.
I love myself.
Woohoo! Yes.
I love myself so much that I can love you so much. So much that you can love you so much. So much that you can start loving me.
All right.
We talked about different ways to love ourselves today. And please, if no one is like officially registered yet for the family camp, the youth and family camp, but I know of a lot of people who are planning on being there and want to be there. So if you could either email me with questions or sign up, that would be awesome so that I could start preparing and know how much food to get and all of that. So yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Woo! We love our kids. All right, I gotta let go. Yes. Also, there is something new to check out in the bookstore. Not that you need anything outside of yourself, but if you are looking for a reminder, we have these beautiful bracelets that have rose quartz and different stones to represent self-love. So if you're looking for a reminder and jewelry's your thing, they're for sale in the bookstore, only $5, or a love offering, we're open. We just want to spread the love. But at least you know that as you give to this community for this product, it goes to support the love that we are, right? I just thought it was funny as what I was talking about, and then I'm like, no, go buy a bracelet. So, Also, a reminder that practitioners are here to support you with prayer. Louise Talon is here. If you want in-person prayer, please wear a mask for in-person prayer. There's also a prayer box in the lobby, and you can submit them online. Be on the lookout. That's the word. We are launching a new website, and that will be coming out in the next week or so, and just keep your eyes out for it. That's going to be an exciting thing. What you also may or may not know, that in addition to prayer after service. Our practitioners offer many services, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago on Practitioner Sunday. There's flyers around now that list the various things from animal blessings and meditation and visioning, as well as some of our practitioners, including our beloved here, Dr. Louise Talon, who gave a great message last week. Did she not? Let's give her some more love. Thank you, Louise. Go back and watch that if you haven't. Offers one-on-one sessions. So if something comes up to you and you're like, oh, I really want to work this through, but then you don't really know how, practitioners are here to sit with you, and they offer for a fee, not free, a session. It's like spiritual coaching, right? And Louise also offers a no-cost 20-minute consultation to see if that's a good fit for you. So find the resources. They're here in our community to do this work so we can continue to grow and evolve the whole consciousness of the world, shall we? Why not? Let's do it. All right, let's stand, and we're going to bring our service to a close here. I invite you to repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It's this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in self-tenderness. I got you on that one. I accept it. I am it. I share it. Just the way it appears. And just the way it appears not. Thank you, life.
Thank you, life. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me live in a holy, holy way.
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 Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me love 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 in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
We want to thank everyone for coming out and for watching online. Don't forget all the nice events coming up. Got a lot of stuff happening. We will see you next week. In the meantime, be kind to yourself and give yourself a break unconditionally. Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy,